2020. This is the second stimulus package update and the current state of the U.S. economy as of today. And it is changing fast. It is moving fast. There are many news and developments happening today around the world and here in the U.S. Let's start with the second stimulus check update. Both parties in Congress are still debating and pointing finger at each other on the second stimulus check updates. So basically nothing new in these categories. They've been arguing forever. But both parties, the Democrats and the Republicans, both agree that the stimulus package update will be $1,200. Last week I said that the stimulus package update will be less. However, because the Republicans do not want the American public to think that they are less likely to help us than the Democrats. So the Republicans had agreed that the stimulus package update will be $1,200. There is no days on this when this agreement will pass. But however, this coming Friday, Congress is their last day of working before they are going on vacation for 31 days. So there is a good chance that the second stimulus package update will be passed this coming Friday. Else they're gonna have answer to their constituent, why hasn't it passed yet? Or they might stay over during the vacation and work to pass this bill. And I really don't think that's going to happen. Steve Mnuchin said that once this package passes, we all will get a check within 1 week. President Donald Trump said that he has the executive orders, he has the executive powers to stop all evictions coming next month and stop payroll taxes. Trump said he can do this because he wants to. I guess we all know President Trump is trying to do. He's trying to get reelected. So he wants to tell the American public that yes, I can stop all the evictions and yes, I can stop your payroll taxes. However, the Congress said that the president do not have the power to do this. But Trump supporters said the president has the executive orders in an emergency to pass this law. While there's still some debates back and forth on whether the President Trump can't stop payroll taxes. I really doubt if the president is able to do this. And I really doubt the president can pass an executive order to stop all evictions. But the President Trump will try. Even if he does try, I guess that's a big win for him, whether it will succeed or not. Both parties still debating on the unemployment benefits. The Democrats want a $600 a week unemployment benefits until first quarter Q1 2021. However, the Republicans think that is way too much money. $600 a week to give to everyone, that would be more than the money they would make if they are working. So the Republicans want to pass around $200, $300 per week. But the Democrats want $600 per week. So I don't know where this is going. And one of the reasons why the stimulus package hasn't passed yet because the debates on the unemployment benefits. But however, chances are it will pass by this coming Friday. The $1,200, I just don't think the agreement on the unemployment benefit of $600 or $200 is going to be agreed upon by this Friday. Well, anyway, people keep losing their jobs and people are not getting any more jobs, and the temporary ban on eviction has been lifted since July 25th. That's why President Trump wants to to execute an executive order to stop all evictions after in September. The reason why is because after July 25th, the ban has been lifted, but landlords have to give their renters 30 days notice before they can kick them out. So within 30 days, maybe by the end of August to early September, we will have some more news on whether President Trump can put these executive orders in place or the Congress is going to pass another law. I don't know, but this is an ongoing thing. So the second stimulus package is going to be around $2.2 trillion to $2.3 trillion because that's how much it cost on the first stimulus package. Have you ever heard of swap lines? Swap lines is what the U.S. government loaned to other countries. Say the United States is also lending money to other countries, 15 other countries around the world. Every countries have central banks, around 200 plus central banks around the world, but only 15 of those countries are our allies. So the U.S. has loan money yearly to these central banks around the world. So the U.S. government, the Feds, print this money, give it to these central banks to support the economy. So basically, you and I, the American taxpayer, are supporting these 15 countries around the world. Well, just for an example, France receives $60 billion a year and to support the economy because they are our allies. So the U.S. central banks print $60 billion, give it to the French central banks to support the economy. Then France in turn support their Airbus, which is the European equivalent of Boeing's. So the Feds prints money to give to France, then France subsidize Airbus. So which means you and I and everyone who are Americans taxpayer are subsidizing Airbus in direct competition of the U.S. Boeing, which is unreal. This is something that recently come out that I have learned about that I'd like to share with you. Now, these are some of the countries that are the U.S. allies: Australia, Brazil, South Korea, Mexico, Singapore, Sweden, Denmark, Norway, and New Zealand are our allies, are some of the 15 countries that the U.S. prints money yearly to support. And another countries has been added to the U.S. allies, Indonesia. And why is that? Why would Indonesia recently been added as an ally and get swap lines by the U.S. central banks? Because of the growing power of China in the South China Sea. So the United States government wants a military base in China, in South China Sea. So Indonesia is a very strategic location in Asia to have another military base. So that is why Indonesia recently get a swap line added. Countries like China, Russia, Vietnam, and some other countries that are opposed to the U.S. government do not get swap lines. So why is that important to you and I? Well, number one, we subsidize this money. We subsidize these countries, in turn subsidize their industries. So if you are an investor in corporation, in mining, in anything, so what countries these corporations exist in make a big difference on whether you want to invest in this company or not. Because if you are invest in countries that get U.S. swap line, which means those countries subsidize those industries, which means it's have a higher chance of success than as if they don't. So that's It's one of the reasons why swap lines is something you need to look at if you want to invest overseas. And we all know these loans just going to get added to their loan amount. It will never get paid back. It just get rollover. And anyway, some more news today. Gold price has hit $2,000 per ounce, and silver price is at $26 per ounce. Now it's going up a lot this past few weeks. The ratio between silver and gold right now is at 75-1. A month ago, it was almost $100 to 1. I listened to many experts, and we are expecting a pullback within that lasts a few months coming up. There will be a black swan event from now to the end of the year, which cause companies to sell the gold and silver for the US dollars, because they need those US dollars to pay their bills, because the US dollar is the world reserve currency. Anyway, on other news, so many companies going out of business. These are some of the companies that has recently declared bankrupt. JCPenney, 24 Hours Fitness, Advantage Rental Cars, Chuck E. Cheese, Cirque du Soleil, GNC, Hertz Rental Car, J. Crew, Neiman Marcus, Lord and Taylor, and Brooks Brothers has been added to the list this week. Lord and Taylor and Brooks Brothers. These high-end clothing store that's been around since 1818, I believe, is declared bankruptcy. So what does that mean? What does bankruptcy mean? Bankruptcy means they filed Chapter 11, which means there will be a representative assigned to this corporation to sell their properties, their assets, to pay for their bills, to pay off the loan. Anyway, in real estate, this is interesting. The prices of houses is rising. Can you believe that? Well, that's because interest rate is falling. When interest rate is falling and nobody's selling their houses because nobody wants people to go into the house, to look into the house during this pandemic, this virus pandemics. So people is not selling their house, but the interest rates is going down, which means they can afford more homes. And people are afraid to put their money in stock because the stock price keep going up. But everyone knows that's because the Fed is printing money and putting the money into the stock market. That's why bumping these stocks up. So people are afraid to buy stocks. So beside gold and silver, and which are the inflation stabilizer, real estate is also an inflation stabilizer. So they put their money into real estate. But people are not selling their house while interest rates going down. So house is selling quickly. And often above the asking price. But we all know that the Fed is not going to raise the interest rates. The Fed's will only going to drop interest rates. Right now, you can get a 30 years mortgage for about 2.8%. It's incredibly low. It hasn't been this low for the past 30 years. Anyway, so we know sooner or later, people is not going to be able to pay their rent, is not going to pay their mortgage. There will be a mass evictions. Congress can pass their law, say there will be ban on evictions, but they will only last for so long. Unless people have jobs to go back to pay their bills, to pay their mortgage, there will be evictions. And that is when the price of homes is going to drop. And I don't think that interest rate is going to be raised then. So I myself is waiting for that. I'm not going to buy now. But even if I buy now, even if you buy now, people don't have jobs to pay their rent. So what are you gonna do with that real estate property unless it's something you have to live in? Then I understand. If you're buying it for investing to get renters, I don't think this is a good time. But anyway, Jerome Powell already said, the Fed chairman, the US Fed chair, said his checkbook is open. He will print money and add money continuously into the economy. By the end of this year, we are projecting to put in $7.5 trillion into the US economy. That's why the price of gold and silver keep going up. That's why stock price keep going up. It's a very scary time. But anyway, we are waiting for stimulus check update. I think by this Friday, before the Congress go on vacation, I think we will have a decision that the stimulus check will pass. And Steve Mnuchin said that checks will be going out in 1 week after. Today is August 4th, 2020. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your time. I'll see you next time.